Well, hello and welcome to this week's edition of What's Up Danville. I'm your host, Mark Aaron, Multimedia Design Manager for the City of Danville. Joining me this week is Kenny Lewis, a familiar face to those here in the Dan River region. Of course, Kenny, star athlete, played for the New York Jets, but has done a lot for this community after football, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Of course, Coach Lewis taught here in the Danville Public School System for many years. But today, he's actually the executive director of a local nonprofit. It's the Church-Based Tutorial Program. This has been in existence since 1996. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the lives that have changed because of this program, and also a kind of a call to action for any pastors or any individuals out there today that want to get involved in this program, because they're always needing volunteers. So we've got a number on the screen there that'll get you in touch with Kenny, and also the website if you want to get involved. So we're going to talk a lot about this program on today's show, because it really has changed the lives of a lot of kids here in our community. And Kenny, let's take us back to 1996. Obviously, there was a need here in the community. Talk about why the Church-Based Tutorial Program you felt was started back at that point.
Yeah, thank you so much again for having me here, and I'm so excited about what we're doing. And when I became an administrator in Danville Public Schools, one thing that we took a trip, the Danville administrators and also the city council members. We went to Arlington, Virginia to look at some programs, partnering together to look at some programs that would help kids after school. Okay. And we saw this program in Arlington called the Louisiana Church-Based Tutorial Program. And a guy by the name of Dr. Donald Hunter, he was the facilitator at that time, and he worked at the State Department in Louisiana and the State Department of Ed. And also, he was a Baptist minister, and he would collect all these statistics on test scores, tendency, truancy issues, dropout rates. Mm-hmm. And so he was compelled by God to start an after-school tutoring program in his church because of the statistics. And, man, he said that he recognized the kids who needed him the most, how it raised their self-esteem, their grades, how they got excited about school, about coming to school again, and it made a world of a difference. Make a long story short, over about a 15-year period, they had about almost 500 sites throughout the state of Louisiana developing these tutorial programs, and it changed, man, their academics and their kids' attendance, their grades. It just did a work in that state. So our superintendent was Andy Overstreet at the time, Dr. Andy Overstreet at the time, and also Ruby Archie was the mayor. All of us went there, and so basically what our superintendent told me to do was take the ball and run with it, you know. So I said, man, this program, I work in Danville. He said, can you take it and run with it? And so what we did was Danville Public Schools flew Dr. Hunter here to Danville, flew his staff here, and we did a trainer model. Okay. And we adopted that program back in 1996. You know,
it's hard to believe it. You're coming up on your 20-year anniversary here next year.
Yeah, that's amazing. And we started out with about 7 different sites at that time. We have 32 sites now at this time. That's right. And you know, Danville region is certainly a city of churches. Sure. And we have identified well over 400 churches in our region, and we certainly want to get churches, pastors involved in our program.
Now let's talk a little bit about if there's anybody out there that wants to get involved. What does it take to sign up? And then how much involvement does there need to be from the pastor's side? How often do you interact with the children? Take me through, I guess, a normal routine for maybe a pastor who's already involved in the program.
Great. And as you mentioned before, my name and number and my website is certainly on the screen. Yeah. Certainly contact me, just simply contacting me, you know, and I'll set up a meeting. What I normally do is when I talk to a pastor who's interested in the program, is I ask the pastor, get you a team together, you know, who are interested in tutoring program, which I feel like it's an outreach of that church to reach out to the community, help those kids who need us the most. And let me come and just share the program, the concept, the things that are needed. And what I do is I kind of bring some information with them, certainly give them my brochures, but just kind of explain that model that we use, where we try to use a 1-to-4 ratio with the tutor and the teacher, and we have a coordinator, and we try to have somebody who can cover the core subject areas. Each person can cover the core areas, which is math, reading, science, and social studies. And we break out in small groups, you know, and we try to keep them in small groups and where they can interact with each other, help support each other, because they got to learn to get along with each other, and let that let that tutor be that facilitator, because I'm telling you, the kids, our school system is doing a good job. They just need that little support from after school to help kids, remind them to do their homework, help them to keep organized, talk to them about their behavior, how important attendance is. And it's really a program that's really been a really crucial, and we've been serving over 400 kids every year.
Wow.
And we noticed that the kids who come consistently, which a church can choose how many days they want to do it every year, each week. And but we noticed that the data that we've come up with is that the ones who come consistently, at least one letter grade, but we've seen 2 and 3 letter grades being raised because they come and they're held accountable, and they develop that relationship with that tutor.
Yeah. So that tutor is basically a mentor for these children.
It's automatic. It happens automatic. It's amazing how they get attached. And Aaron, I'm telling you, I literally had parents come to me crying, saying, "Kenny, what did y'all do to my child?" Because it turned them around, because of the program, that mentoring relationship, helping that kid, explaining to them how to do their homework. Because we know teachers are giving them their homework and trying to line it up with those SOLs, and we're just kind of being a little supplement to just help them out a little bit, give them in a little smaller, caring environment and relaxing environment where they can they learn those little concepts and reinforce what those teachers have already taught them, and man, it just makes a world of a difference.
Now, are these students identified by the school system to take part in this program? How does that? How do we match up the children with the church?
Yeah, it's a great relationship with the school system. We have a MOU with Danville Public Schools, and what we do is we send all of our sites, the copy to the schools and to the central office, and they send it to all of the schools where our sites are located. And the schools, what they do is they give them to those teachers. The teachers put them in the report cards, put them in the weekly folders, put them in the progress reports, and the parents just bring them to the sites to register every child. And got to get them registered. Those ones who and the teachers give them to the ones who need it the most, and so they come to the sites and get them registered. And we take it from there.
That's great. And we talked about the number of children that we've helped in almost 20 years. And I know there's a lot of success stories. There's a lot of churches that have been doing this since day one with you. We talked about one before we went on air, Moffat Memorial Baptist Church. Russell Scruggs spearheading that. It changed a lot of lives over there.
It has. I said Moffat is certainly one of those churches that's a prime example of how, when we collaborate with each other, partner with other organizations, agencies out there to make things happen, because they've been doing it from day one. Matter of fact, they've been doing it before we started Church Base. But they partner with other churches, other community organizations that brings it in to partner to make it happen. And I hate to start talking about partners because I might miss one, but man, I tell you, some great partnership with United Way. We're a partner, a collaborative partner with United Way, with God's Pit Crew, with DCC, with the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, Avery University. I mean, just a great partnership where we work together to make a lot of things happen for our kids.
That's great. And you mentioned making it happen. That's a great segue because, of course, Danville Regional Foundation, our viewers are very familiar with their Make It Happen grants. Right. And, of course, the Regional Foundation supporting the Dan River region, Danville, Pittsylvania County, and Caswell County. Right. And your organization, fortunate enough to receive a Make It Happen grant recently, going to make a big difference for the program.
Yes, I mean, we certainly feel like we're blessed because the Danville Regional Foundation receiving that Make It Happen grant. And what that grant is, the purpose of that grant is to look at the feasibility of developing a faith-based collaborative in our region. Developing all of the churches in Danville, Pittsylvania County, and Caswell. We're trying to bring our pastors together to look at the issues that we have in our region, such as education, such as fitness, food, clothing, and see what all the churches are doing. And we have a consultant who's putting that information together and looking at it and see how can we as a faith community deal with these issues in our region. And so I need the pastors to, I sent a letter out to every pastor I know of. If you didn't get a letter from me, please contact me.
Yeah.
I sent a letter and a survey to every pastor that we've tried to relocate it, and to fill out that survey and get it back to me, and so we can get our consultant to put that information together. We'll put together some recommendations when we need to move forward. But on January the 28th, we really need everybody to put this on their account. All the pastors to put January the 28th. We're going to culminate this thing with a what we call a faith-based regional conference at the Institute on January 28th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., where we're going to bring in guest speakers, keynote speakers, breakout sessions, and deal with all the issues and how to put programs together and how we can move forward in doing away with those ills that we have in our community.
Well, that's great. Well, again, kudos for the Danville Regional Foundation for stepping up to fund this. And we look forward to following the progress on River City TV, because this program really has made a difference in the lives of children here in the community. And, of course, Kenny, appreciate all the hard work you've done over the years to continue this program. And, again, now if a child, if say a parent is watching this at home and says, you know what, I'd really like for my child to take part in this program, they've already probably received from the school, but can they talk to a teacher or the principal? Of course, I know we're here at Woodbury Elementary. We want to thank them for allowing us to film here today. Yeah. But if they want to take part, is there always an opening for a child if the need is there? Always
an opening. You know, we have, again, 32 sites throughout the city of Danville and Caswell and Pennsylvania County, and if they can either contact the school, because the school has a list of all of the sites, okay? And also they can also call me. My contact information is on there on the TV. So very simple, just to making a phone call and contact, because we want to get them plugged in as soon as possible. And our idea is to try to have a site within their area, you know, where it's real close by, you know, where transportation might not be a big issue, but let us within their region. So our goal is to have a church tutorial program in every area in our region where we can bring that support.
Great. And the only really way we can do that is have you at home step up. So if you are a pastor of a local church here in Danville, Pennsylvania County, or Caswell County, give Kenny a call, and we want to continue this program. And as he mentioned, in January, looking forward to that big event out at the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, all funded by the Danville Regional Foundation. So, Kenny, it sounds like we've got a bright future for the church-based tutorial here in the community, and we'll follow up here on River City TV with the progress.
Well, I appreciate that, and I just encourage our pastors to fill out that survey, get in contact with me so that we can have as much data as we can, so that we can show that we've done our due diligence to say this is what we need to do. All right, this is what we need to do. This is what we're doing. This is what we need to do to move forward.
Sounds good. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And thank you at home for watching. Until next week, have a great day.